Hello, welcome back inside the Sanford Kyle Sports Center, talking South Dakota men's basketball with head coach Todd Lee. Todd, coming off a week that saw you win one, lose one, and it got started for you Wednesday night in Grand Forks. Now this game, you know, there's been a lot of games where you guys have had control a lot of the way through and just haven't been able to close. This was a different story. You controlled this one from the jump, led by as many as 17, even withstood a second-half charge from the Fighting Hawks. So I'm imagining that you felt pretty good about what your team gave you for a full 40 minutes in this one.
Yeah, we did a good job. It was our third game in 6 days traveling. I think you guys did a graphic where we traveled 1,800 miles in 6 days. So I was a little bit worried about our guys' legs and how tired they would be. But we came out and jumped on them early, and we really didn't let up. We guarded really well in the first half. They scored 20 points, one of our better defensive efforts, because they are a very good three-point shooting team, and we did not allow them to get good looks. So we stuck to the scouting report a little bit better than we have been, and they cut it to 5 or 6 in the second half. It felt like maybe different than some of the other games this year. We had Tristan Simpson hit a big three, made a couple other baskets. We knocked down our free throws. We did some things where they were making the run, and we withheld it, and so that was good to see. And then down the stretch, we continued to defend.
One of the biggest storylines in this game, of course, came about 5 minutes in. Trey Burch-Manning enters the game, first game in 4 games since suffering that foot injury. He ends up playing quite a bit for you, gave you 27 minutes, 9 points, 8 rebounds, 3 steals. He said himself afterward that he felt a little bit rusty, but overall it looked like he was pretty fresh. So how would you assess what you got out of him that night?
Well, he had a great game, I thought. There was not just points, but for him, just leadership and toughness and making plays. You know, he's a very good passer. You can run offense to him. It was comforting to have him out there. He had only had 1 day of practice going into that game, so I knew he wouldn't be, you know, he was going to be rusty. But I thought he reacted great, and just to have him out there, we need senior leadership. Obviously, all our seniors are hurt, so he's the one guy now back. Dan Jeck's working his way back, so it was great to have him out there.
Overall, in addition to Trey, great balance offensively in this game for you. All 7 guys that played scored at least 6 points for you. And so no go-to option on this night. I mean, when you're spreading it around like that, you got to feel like you're pretty tough to beat. Yeah,
that was great to see. That's the first thing I noticed when we looked at the box score was all the balance. You know, a lot of guys scoring, a lot of guys made baskets. I thought Matt Johns played really well. Brandon Armstrong came in and made some baskets. So when we get that, we are tough to beat, especially if we defend that way. And they average about 10 made threes a game, and we held them, I think, to 3. And I thought we defended the 3 as good as we have all year.
Huge win for you. Anytime you get a win on the road in league play, it's big for you. Brings a little bit extra momentum home for you then Saturday when you take on Western Illinois here at the SCSC. Kind of a typical slugfest with Western Illinois, just style of play and things like that. You get in, it's easy to get into a rock fight with a team like that, but you guys really did control this game for the first 30 minutes. What was working for you?
Well, we came out, we didn't play great to start, but then once we started shooting the ball better in the first half, we pulled away a little bit and got I think a 5-point lead at half. And as you said, Jay, we controlled it. We're up 11 with 10 minutes to go at home. You don't expect to lose those games. So trying to get Gilbeck away from the basket, that was big. He's second in the country in block shots. He's a very good defender. We got Matt Johns down there doing his best he can. He's a freshman.
Give it a little size there.
Right, yeah, giving up a little size. He's a freshman and Gilbeck's a senior. And then we've got Red down there, Trey Burch-Manning, trying to battle him, who's a 4-man, and then Stan. And then we put Dan Jeck in for a little bit, but Dan's still working his way back. So that was one of the things in the game that was tough for us. And we've had trouble with big post players this year because of our lack of a true post player.
Sure. Well, you kind of alluded to it. You're up 11 with just under 11 minutes to play in this game, but the ball stopped going in the basket there for quite a while. 7 minutes without a point. Western puts a 16-0 run on you, ends up taking the lead. Anything specifically on either end of that during that stretch that really stood out as to why things were going the way they were there?
Well, I've watched it now 3 times. That's what coaches do. You go home and you watch it, then you get up in the morning, you watch it again, you try to figure out. During the game, we had that 7-minute stretch where we didn't make a free throw, didn't score a basket. We had 10 field goal attempts, 1 turnover. Tristan Simpson took a tough fadeaway pull-up on the first one of that possession. After that, we had 9 shots that I would have taken. I'll take them right now over again. They were wide open. Cody Kelly misses a wide open pull-up off a ball screen. Tristan Simpson misses a wide open pull-up off a handoff. Trey Burch-Manning's wide open in the corner 3. TP Tyler Peterson misses 2 wide open 3s. We had open shot after open shot after open shot. We turned it over 1 time. We executed a play perfectly, threw the ball to Tyler Peterson. He had a layup, he just drops the ball. It felt a lot like the Southern Miss game, and I don't know if you were at the Southern Miss game, but they made 3 or 4 shots late in the shot clock, late in the game, and we had open looks and didn't make them, and they recovered. So that's kind of been the story this year, where we just need to step up and make shots down the stretch of games.
With that one, you reached the halfway point of the Summit League season at 3-5. That right there, though, is that sort of a silver lining? And I know coaches aren't into moral victories and things like that, but given everything that you've been through injury-wise and all of that, all the extra adversity that you're dealing with on top of the normal stuff that you run into during the course of a season, knowing that you are so competitive and that you're not that far off from stringing a whole bunch of wins together?
Well, I told our guys we could lose every game, we could win every game. I believe that. We're in every game. The only game we haven't been in league is the state game. They threw the zone in and we didn't attack it. But other than that, I mean, it's all been 1-2 possession games with a minute or 2 to go. So I do think our guys know we can compete against anybody and we could win those games. So that is good to know as we go into the second half of the season. And I believe that. We could win every game, we could lose every game. That's just, we are competitive. I give our guys credit in that every game we are prepared. We had 1 day to prepare for Western. Western had a week off. I thought defensively we were prepared as well as we've been all year. I thought our guys listened, did for the most part what we wanted to do. We made a few mistakes like you always do. But our guys are battling and we're in every game, and we just got to find a way to close out games.
Well, next one that you get the opportunity to do is Wednesday night. It comes at Purdue-Fort Wayne. This is a team you saw just a couple of weeks ago, and you played very well here at home against the Mastodons. They're a much better team at home, though. 9-3 so far this season. Most teams in the conference are better at home, but they split last week, lost a tough one at home against Omaha in overtime, but then came back and beat Denver on the weekend. So where do you see this team at right now as compared to what you saw a couple of weeks ago?
Well, when they came in here, they were riding high. They were 4-0. They just beat South Dakota State, basically blew State out at home at Fort Wayne. And so they came in and we had basically 6 players we were playing, and I thought our guys played a great game. And they can get going. They're a scary team, but if you can guard the 3, sometimes you can shut them down. Obviously, Concha's a very good player, and they've got guys around him that can get hot and get it going. So, it has been, since they left here, started out the season, so hot. Now it's been up and down, and they've played well, and then they haven't played well. So we'll see, but as you said, they're a much better team at home.
All right, well, good luck to you. Safe travels, and
Thank you.
We'll catch up again next week.
Thanks, Jay.